Welcome back to Proxy, everybody, and today we're going to be talking about Yvraine and why she is one crazy-ass bitch in 10th edition. So, the thing about Yvraine is, last edition, she was kind of always on the periphery. She was decent as a character, who was often overshadowed by the Incarn, who already knew all the psychic powers and really just could do everything she could do, but 10 times better. However, in 10th edition, she got a serious glow-up and is now looking to be one of the best characters in the Eldar Index. So without further ado, let us go ahead and dive right into her. So first, a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about Yvraine's stats, weapons, and special rules, her strengths and weaknesses, her combos and synergies, and lastly, the role of Yvraine in an Eldar army and how to make the most out of her. Without, of course, incurring the wrath of Robu Guilliman. So, as for her stats, she has a high movement at 8 inches, which is on par with Harlequin troops and witches. She has a 6+ save, but a 4+ invul save, which is what she's going to be using most of the time. So, pretty average for an Eldar character. However, her ranged weapons are really where she starts to shine. So she has an absolutely insane range attack with D6 +3 attacks that have anti-infantry 2+ and devastating wounds. She's not great against non-infantry targets due to the low strength, however, so you do have to make sure that when you do shoot her, you're shooting infantry. Her melee weapons are quite good as well. She has a good number of attacks at 5 with strength 4, AP -3, and damage 2, and also has devastating wounds on top of it. As for her ability, she has Deep Strike, which she'll probably never use because she doesn't want to go in solo and she doesn't confer the ability to her unit. She also has the Herald of Unid ability, which gives her unit a 5+ Feel No Pain, increasing their durability considerably. And on the roll of a 2+, she can also revive D3 models in her unit during your command phase. As for the units that she can join a lot of different units, but the only really viable ones are Corsairs and the Troop. Storm Guardians do come close, but in my opinion, don't quite cut it. As for her points cost, she's only 100 points, which is fantastic considering the damage she can deal alone. I mean, think about it. She has a ranged weapon with anti-infantry 2+ and devastating wounds with a lot of attacks. She's pretty insane, and that's not even accounting for her ability to buff her own unit. As for her keyword, she does have the infantry and psychic keyword, which allow her to move through, ruins very easily and stuff like that. But the Psyker keyword makes her weak to anti-psychic tech as well as her unit. As far as her strengths and weaknesses go, she has insane damage against infantry with devastating wounds in combat and at range. She gives the unit she is with a 5+ Feel No Pain, making them very tough. She can also revive D3 models in her unit in your command phase, which is also very good. Her weaknesses, however, are that she has Deep Strike but does not confer it to her unit, sadly, nor can she benefit from Scout via the Corsairs. So there is a bit of an interactivity issue there with Yvraine and the units that she can join, but it's not really that big of a deal because you're mostly going to want to put them in a transport. She's also weak against anything that's not infantry, as her weapons are very low strength by themselves. Now, her combos and synergies are really where I think Yvraine shines. So first of all, a Falcon allows her to reroll wounds on her ranged and melee attacks, boosting her mortal wound potential. She is a mixed unit, so basically she deals good shooting damage and good combat damage. If you get her out of a Falcon, she can reroll her wounds when shooting. They won't be many, but if you roll bad and roll a lot of ones, she can give you those rerolls. When, of course, benefiting from the Falcon. She can also reroll her wounds in melee, which boosts her mortal wound potential even more. Again, her melee weapon doesn't have anti-infantry, just has strength 4, so being able to reroll wounds is very effective. Also, joining a troop gives her +1 to wound on the charge, which helps her strength 4 weapons wound more reliably. The Visarch not only does all of Yvraine's chores, but also is able to give her unit fights first, which is very effective on a combat-based unit that she is most likely going to be joining. Corsair Void's Guard give her lethal hits and precision against one unit, which is good. I think the lethal hits is a little bit counterproductive, but the precision is very effective. Corsair Void Reavers give her rerolls to hit, which, again, she hits on 2+, probably not needed, but it is a decent benefit. And Doom gives her +1 to wound. Okay, so having talked about her combos and synergies, what is the best unit to put Yvraine in? So I believe that the second best choice is the Corsair Void Guard. They are a good option, but they do lack the durability to be truly scary with her, and giving her lethal hits doesn't really help her a whole lot. Again, she's going to be wanting to proc mortal wounds on a ranged weapon, so the lethal hits isn't that good. It's a little bit counterintuitive. However, again, the precision that they give her is very good at sniping out characters. The troop becomes very tough with her, and in my opinion is the best choice. They can operate effectively in either small units in a Falcon or bigger units in a Wave Serpent, which the Corsairs don't want to do. So Void Guard always want to be taken as a max unit, and that can cause issues because it means you're not going to be able to have the flexibility of taking a smaller unit in a Falcon. And to some of you, that may not matter that much because the Corsair Void Guard do hit very hard, but it's just a little bit less, in my opinion, than the troops. She also makes up for the loss of the troop's mortal wounds without the Troop Master. So normally the Troop Master would give the troop mortal wounds. If you have Yvraine in the unit, they don't get that benefit. But she kind of makes up for it because she does so many mortal wounds by herself that you'll rarely notice the loss. And in that way, I actually think Yvraine works best with the troop in the same way that the troop works best with Yvraine. They cover each other's weaknesses, and they also provide extra bonuses that they both can benefit from. The troop gives her +1 to wound on charge, and she also, of course, gives them extra durability as well as mortal wound damage. So what is the role of Yvraine in an Eldar army, and how do you make the most out of her? So Yvraine has two roles, one of which is as your warlord to allow you to take Dark Eldar units, so basically being able to run a Ynnari list. However, she also doubles as a durability and damage multiplier for the unit she joins. So obviously you can run her without her being the warlord and just give a durability boost as well as a damage multiplier to your unit. But she can also act as your warlord and give you access to Dark Eldar units, which have some insane synergy with Eldar units. Yvraine adds immense power to the unit she's with, but she's most effective in a troop. And like I said previously, troops and Yvraine just work very well together as shock infantry to wipe out hard targets, like Terminators. So anything that's infantry is going to be basically cut down very easily by Yvraine and her unit of Harlequins, making her and the Harlequins easily the best unit for taking out infantry in melee in the entire index. And personally, I think when she's matched up with the troop, she's actually better than a unit of Incubi with Drazar point for point. Yes, Drazar and Incubi are very good at taking out heavy infantry, but Yvraine is just doing mortal wounds. On top of that, her Harlequins are going to be much more durable because of the 5+ feel no pain and revival chance that they have. So in conclusion, Yvraine is better than a lot of people give her credit for, and I'm definitely not talking about her, well, less than appropriate fandom. Not only does she add durability to the unit she's with, but is a force to be reckoned with herself, capable of dealing tons of mortal wound damage at range or in combat. And finally, when taken as your warlord, grants you access to Dark Eldar units, unlocking some insane synergies with Eldar units. And this combination easily makes her one of the best top-tier leaders in the Eldar Index. Alright everybody, I know that was kind of a short video, but I did want to cover Yvraine really quick because I think she's just such an awesome character in the Index. And she really doesn't get as much love as she should because she's such a cool character. Alright everybody, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Thank you to all my patrons and supporters for supporting the channel over the last months. Your help has greatly improved the channel and helped it grow. I do have free trials activated for my Patreon if you're interested in joining. Joining my Patreon does give you permanent and free access to the channel's Discord, which is a community of Eldar players who like talking about strategy, tactics, and of course hobbying. And if you want to join, I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description. I also do have a channel store page for those of you interested in grabbing some Eldar-inspired apparel to rep your local game store. I will leave that link as well as the link for my Amazon affiliate in the description for you guys. And just to let you guys know, I am an Amazon affiliate now. If you do want to grab some discount Eldar miniatures on Amazon, you can go ahead and check out the link and see if it'll save you some money. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for today. Peace out and see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody. See you later.